Oh boy, shit's about to get deep now. Yep. It seemed like the Doordash Karen is now is now in over her head, but she's steady trying to play the victim. Yes, I talked about her numerous times before. But now there's more details to be discussed. No introduction required. Y'all see the title of tonight's video. And shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comments section. Man, brace yourselves. This is gonna get crazy. But enough of me talking. Let's get down to business, shall we?
In this week's episode of F Around and Find Out, we have a professional victim, Mrs. I'm the Victim, Doordash girl herself.
This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember, I'm the victim.
Yeah. It's a man's world. You're a victim. Blah, yada, 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 yada.
That's our TikTok platform for money and fame, the same way that I will utilize this platform to continue to ensure that she gets destroyed in the courtroom. Now, shout out to this brother right here. He goes by the name of Atozi. All right, I'll link it down in the description box down below. But he's doing God's work, all right, and keeping everybody updated on this circus. He took the trip out to the courthouse to report on this situation because mainstream media, and of course we already knew this was going to happen, they've stopped following up on this case at the point that they realize that it doesn't follow the narrative that they originally were trying to push. Go figure. Nothing's new, but yeah, he attended the initial court hearing so we can continue to break it down even further. So let's get extremely active on this one, family. Without further ado,
things just got so much worse for the TikTok Doordash girl because this is becoming a nightmare for her. And if you don't know about the situation, it is insane. So here's a quick rundown. So on October 12, 2025, a Doordash driver by the name of Olivia Henderson got an order in Oswego, New York. This was apparently a late night Wendy's order, and from what we know, all she had to do was leave the food at the door, take a picture of the food, and continue on with her night. Instead, she allegedly made a series of awful decisions. The police and prosecution, they're alleging that she pushed the door open and decided to film a drunk dude who was passed out on his couch with his pants down. So in my first video on the story, I reported that she walked into the house because that's what currently was going viral on TikTok. That, from what...
According to her. And at this point, it's her story versus the DoorDam footage from the police testimony, and then there's the truth.
What I know is wrong. So I have to issue a massive retraction and correction to that statement. All the, at least credible sources are claiming that she never walked into that house. She was only standing in the doorway. But still, either way, filming and posting what she saw after she allegedly either opened the door or pushed open the door is still incredibly stupid. So
it explicitly...
Absolutely. And what's more, remember, fellas, instead of her getting the police involved, no, she thought that it would be a great idea to post it on social media for clicks and views, then cry victim afterwards, which is why she's in the situation that she's in right now. But let's continue.
Said on the instructions to leave at the door, not open the door, peek inside, take a picture of my pecker, and then put it up on the internet. Extreme violation of privacy, all in the sake proliferation of I'm a victim via her TikTok accounts. Let's go.
What the prosecution is alleging is true. She seemingly went onto TikTok and tried to destroy an innocent man's life for passing out within his own house with his pants down. Now, obviously, we're not going to show the original video. I can't even find the original video. All I can find is a screenshot. But even if I could find the original video, I wouldn't be showing that here on this channel for obvious reasons. You know, because there's a massive...
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my sources on TikTok because they found out why her TikTok got banned. Her TikTok got banned for the obvious reason. And which of course it violated TikTok's terms of service. In fact, if she would post it anywhere on social media, where there's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it would have been taken down for violating their terms of service. And which it should be obvious to everyone which part of their terms of service she violated. Everybody say it with me now. Nudity. That's right, nudity. I guess it wasn't a good idea to record him with his pants down and his meat stick out. That's the reason why TikTok hit her for violating terms of service. Need I go further? Let's continue.
Privacy issue there. But this is her follow-up video to the original video.
So on October 12th, 2025, the DoorDash customer requested that their order be left at their front door. When I arrived at their front door was wide open. Their lights were on. They were sleeping on the couch within the eyesight of the front door with their pants and underwear pulled down to their ankles, and they were indecently exposed to me.
Okay, so she says the door was wide open. And the police and prosecutors say otherwise. And the reason they're saying this is because there's allegedly Ring doorbell footage of her either opening or pushing the door open. Now, the only problem is, to my knowledge, that footage has not been released to the public.
In which it needs to be released to the public, so all these retarded fucks kissing her ass can all shut the fuck up forever. No, don't keep it hidden. Let us see that Ring camera. But let's continue.
Actually hoping to see that footage today in court, but court had different plans for us today.
Because I also reported this to the police, and the police are doing nothing. I was assaulted. I'm the victim. I lost my job. I'm the
Yada, 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 yada.
I was literally working, and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my faults while door dashing. They just fired me, and the police are doing nothing.
Okay, so that...
Cry me a river, oh, cry me a river, oh, cry us a river, oh, cry us a river, yeah.
Her side, and the prosecution is basically saying something around the lines of this happening.
Sir, I have your DoorDash. Oh! Ew!
Obviously, these things for humor, and again, actually, she didn't go into the house from what we know. But this was her final response before the trial.
Hi guys, it's the DoorDash girl. There have been a lot of people saying things like I entered the customer's home or I opened the customer's door, but I can assure you that I did not do either of those things, and I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house. But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof yet.
Because you don't have it. Oh, they said I opened the door, in which I didn't open the door, but I got irrefutable proof. But for some retarded fuck shit, I'm not gonna show the footage. And somehow, some way, we all supposed to believe that bullshit. If you don't have several seats and shut the fuck up forever, you lying ass bitch. Let's continue.
At this time.
Okay, so we have two sides saying two different things. The only thing everyone can agree on is that the homeowner was laying passed out inside of his own home with his pants down. Then she had her arraignment, which was actually televised, and she asked to ban cameras, but the judge reportedly responded, so now you don't want cameras involved. So I wouldn't say...
The sheer irony. No, yeah, I'm laughing right now, but I'm trying to be serious here. The sheer irony of all that. So wait a minute. She had no problem putting a man half naked on camera without his consent. She had no problem She had no problem posting that on social media, which caused her to get hit with violating TikTok's terms of service. But now she's the same one asking for cameras not to appear in court? The same one who wants to make a man go viral without his consent is now begging for cameras not to appear in court. The sheer irony of that retarded fuck shit. Let's continue.
It was a strong start for her, but that was her arraignment. This is how her first hearing went. And as we found out, it didn't go as expected, and it doesn't seem like she's just going to get a slap on the wrist.
It is hilarious, the irony of you complaining about TikTok canceling your account for uploading lewd content. Meanwhile, you don't want cameras involved in this case when it is you to be held accountable.
And they took down my video. They were going to have to pay me for my second story time because that was over a minute long. They were going to have to pay me for all those views I got.
Well, that's too bad. And once again, shout out to my sources on TikTok. By you posting nudity on their platform, you completely cancel out your payment there. I swear to God, they don't think. These retarded fucks don't think. Now she's worrying about her payment. You can kiss that goodbye, ma'am. It ain't gonna happen. Again, shout out to my sources on TikTok. Let's continue.
Nope, they took that right down. They took that right down. Absolutely not. You're not paying me for that. Nope.
When you listen to her complain like that, then you understand the real reason that incentivized her to post it in the first place. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for...
Into the TikTok Doordash girls trial, which is tomorrow. So we're going to Syracuse, New York now. But I definitely wanted to attend this trial because there's been so many details about this case that have been extremely unclear. So might as well go show up and get them clarified. Yeah, this is the smallest airplane I've ever been on.
Welcome to Syracuse, your local time. 2:03 p.m.
Alright, so I'm in Syracuse, New York. This is probably influencer break the law, so we're tropical. Miami was great. This is rough.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel his pain. When I first touched down to Colorado and experienced my first winter here, man, I was just like him. No lie, I was just like him. This was my first time experience a snowy, cold winter. But after the second and the third winter, I started getting used to it. All I can say is toughen up, soldier. Brace the code and fulfill your mission. Let's continue.
Morning, I'm driving the last 25 minutes or so to get to Oswego, and apparently Oswego is known for being even colder than this spot, so that's awesome. Good morning.
This is giving me incredibly terrible flashbacks. I mean, I'm from New York, but for grad school, for my MBA, I went to University of Rochester, so I was up there for 2.5 years. 8 hours driving north of New York, where I'm from. It's still in New York, but that thing is up by Canada, baby. After dealing with this type of weather so often throughout my life, I will never find myself firmly planted in a city, a state, a province with cold-ass weather ever again.
Oswego is known for being even colder than 50 in the morning here. The trial starts at 7:30. I'll probably try to get there half an hour early so we have way more time than anticipated. But yeah, for now, coffee, a little bowl of cereal. It's time to wake all up, and we'll be good. There's a few things that are probably going to happen today. Or actually, I say that, but in reality, I don't know what's going to happen because There's always surprises when you go to trial. She currently has a public defender, and she's charged with 2 counts. She has 1 count of dissemination of unlawful surveillance image. She also has 1 count of unlawful surveillance. Both of these, she's pled not guilty to.
Basically, they got her with unlawful surveillance. In other words, you take pictures or you record someone without their consent or prior knowledge, and two, posting it on social media without their consent or prior knowledge. And yes, you can get in trouble for that. This is the reason why when you hear people say, there's a reason why you hear people say, please do not record. If you record anyway and do something stupid and put it on social media, then guess what? They could sue your ass for that shit. I'm just saying, let's continue.
Stated she's currently being represented by a public defender. From talking to the practicing lawyers I know, it seems like it's very likely that a plea deal will happen today. Who knows though? That's why we're going to go see. The big thing is for her is she filmed the guy. That's why she's charged. You have a whole bunch of arguments about like, okay, did she open the door? Was the door already kind of opened? How was the door when she found it? There's now alleged Ring camera footage showing that she either opened the door or pushed the door open before she started filming. That's the really damning evidence. So we have the police alleging that she opened the door and started filming, and then we have Doordash essentially banning her from the platform because she filmed the customer. But she's claiming that she's the victim in all of this, which is why, all of her TikTok started in general. So it will be interesting to see how her defense argues for her in court. If I was going to be making any predictions on what's going to happen is, I guess, plea deal, I think they're going to be very lenient on her. She didn't have to bail out, so she was released on her own recognizance, meaning she didn't have to pay bail. It's basically just an honor system. It's like, hey, you can go, you don't have to give us anything, we just trust you're going to show up to court. So I have a feeling that her sentence is going to be, or her plea is going to be very lenient. Most likely, she'll be getting like some community service, maybe a fine. That's what I'm expecting here. But we'll see. All right.
You can clearly see the inherent difference here as if this was a man, how he would be treated. I can damn near guarantee you there would not have been no honor system bond. Either he'd be sitting in a jail or doing some type of odd community service, or like having to go door to door to tell all of his neighbors in his neighborhood what he did, as well as a registry to an S-offenders list.
And this is why we don't want to hear shit about equality. Straight up, keep that equality bullshit to yourself. We ain't trying to hear it. Other words, she'd be facing the same amount of time if a man was doing that shit. And people wonder why nobody trusts the courts. But let's continue.
Let's go to Oswego, New York. This is the city courthouse. This is probably the spot. We just got out of the court case for the TikTok Doordash girl. Something big did happen, but it took a while for anything to happen at all. So I got here at the court at about 9:21, and she was on trial at 9:30. This time was a little bit different because last time we know that we had footage of inside of the courtroom because the news was there. So the news, they were set up, they were filming her. I walk in, there's no TV camera set up. I don't even see any journalists. And basically I was there until the end. I can confirm there was no journalists there. So it's only me that was there, which is kind of interesting. Other updates to this case. She still has a public defender. She has 2 charges. At 9:30, judge walks in, everyone stands up, sits down, the whole thing, and I don't see the Doordash girl. I think it was just because I didn't see her, because she was sitting in there. And at that time, I was sitting kind of in the back right of the courtroom. This courtroom is set up in a, not the best fashion, because there's a column blocking the judge, and the audio isn't really good, and it did seem like they had the microphone speakers on the back, so I couldn't hear what was going on. So I had to move around. Eventually, after they went through a couple of the defendants, I got up and I moved. And that's when I could actually see the judge, so I can at least read what his lips were saying, because the audio was still bad. And I think I sat down behind the Doordash girl at that point, and that's when I spotted her. Going through my notes real quick, one second. Oh no! So 10 o'clock rolls around, and I see who I think is the Doordash girl's public defender. 10:25 rolls around. Nothing yet. Okay, so at this point, I've been here for a minute. 10:50 rolls around. Woman who looks like the Doordash girl, who I think was, she gets up after talking to her public defender and leaves. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on now? Is this like another Jack Doherty situation where there's some like continuation? Do I have to show up tomorrow? I don't know. I wait around even further. Then we have probably like another 40 minutes of waiting. They go through the last people. The judge then is waiting for one of the defendants to show up. So we get through them, and suddenly it's just me in the courtroom. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going up on the stand. So that must mean it's over. I go out to the clerk, I talk to them, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a continuation that happened. Instead, I found out this was divested to county court. So originally, where we're at, this building right here, this is the city court. So city court, I mean, this is kind of like small fines, but hers was divested to county court. So as I said, originally.
Oh, shit. Now, I know county court. And I know county court very well. And I can honestly say, if they would have kept her in the city court, she would have got a slap on the wrist. But county court? Oh, county court? All I can say is she better prove her innocence, which of course she can't. Because county court, they don't play no games. Let's continue.
When she was in city court, but now county court, that's the main state court. So that means most likely she's facing way more serious charges. Or, well, not way more serious charges. The charges are still the same, but most likely they could penalize her a lot harder. So according to the lawyer that I've been talking to, that's the prosecutor that moved it there, most likely because of all the public attention on the case and the public. So that means that most likely she won't get a slap on the wrist. So currently, she is facing 8 years in prison. That's her max sentence, because it's a 4-year max sentence for each of the felonies. And her minimum.
So case in point, if found guilty, she can receive a minimum of 8 years. Eight years. As I said, county court don't play no games. They're damn near as strict as federal court. But I digress. Let's continue.
Sentence seems to be a couple of years of probation, and that is if she's convicted 100% though. It seems like she was moved to Superior Court, so that's actually even worse for her.
Damn!
Well, the prosecution is moving it to higher courts because of all the social media attention. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's first and foremost. Secondly, this is the reason I keep on covering content like this, because it does matter. Each one of y'all views, y'all likes, y'all comments, it is a vote in a direction towards public observance and care. These are the type of cases that get buried and forgotten. These are the Rhoda Brickface Osmonds of the world, those that will utilize false allegations to continue to paint male image as nothing but negative. That's why we must continue. Let's finish up.
Yep, indeed.
That's what we have right now. She's currently facing 8 years in prison. That's the worst case. She's not going to get that. But her minimum is at least a couple of years on probation. Either way, she shouldn't have done this. This is like a big self-inflicted thing that didn't need to happen. I don't know why she decided to do that. Those are all the updates for now. But I guess if Olivia's telling the truth, everyone owes her an apology. If she's lying, then it seems like she tried to ruin the life of an innocent man for attention on TikTok, I guess. Now, should he have been passed out with his pants on his ankles? Probably not, but also, he was in his own house.
Yeah.
But either way,
Yeah.
Olivia claims that she has proof that the door was open from the start. And the prosecutors, they have the opposite. So they also have proof that she opened the door. So as of right now, it's a he said, she said. We don't know the answers because I didn't see any proof from either side today. Regardless,
Right,
though,
but-
this is now a nightmare for Olivia.
Think about the precedent that is being stated here in it that as a man, you cannot be in the comfort of your own home that you pay for, right? You pay the light, the electric, okay, the utility, all the utilities, and I can't be in my own home with my pants betwixt my ankles. That makes no damn sense. Let's stop that talk immediately, all right? Because now y'all have men perpetrating crimes while asleep, which is insane.
This has now been moved to a
In their own homes, by the way. In their own homes. The retarded fuck ass logic don't make no sense. At this point, I'm hoping the Ring camera footage do surface. Because that footage will either make or break the case. But as always, I'll keep y'all fellas informed on everything that happens. But I'm gonna stop this video right here. And once again, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. If y'all want to watch this video in its entirety, I'll leave the link to the full video in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell them JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done. And before I go, I need to send this message to everybody. May this be a teachable moment. All that professional victimhood retarded fuck shit may get you in more trouble than anything. Now Uncle JD understands why. When it comes to my retarded fuck ass haters, and I'm talking to the ones that want to sit there and want to claim this, that, and the third, how we gonna get locked up. There's a reason why they rather put it on YouTube rather than take it to the authorities. And now I see clearly. Now that the one who claimed that he was going to put me in prison, but didn't do shit when I was in his city, now I see why he was sitting there bullshitting himself, which is also why he's quiet. And he should stay quiet because I will keep on reminding him. But I digress from all of that. When being a professional victim goes wrong is all I can say. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.